going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about bugging out with precious metals, the silver and the gold, and which way I would think makes more sense. But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there, go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to help support the channel by getting some DYDSS merchandise, of course we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products, t-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Of course we have the recently released Crackin' Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, as well as the brand new DYDSS 3/9 Fine tally marks available in 4 different colors. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. But today, as I am filming this video, it is September the 11th, 2020. It's been 19 years. That's not what this video is about. All I wanted to say is never forget. And also because of the subject of today's video and the date that I'm filming today's video, I decided to only display American coins and symbols. So we have a couple silver quarters here on top, eagle on it, Walking Liberty half dollars, silver eagle, a 10th ounce gold eagle, and an American flag bar. Never forget. Today's video was inspired by a question that I received on my live stream last night. Somebody asked this while I was live. I thought it was really interesting. It kind of caught me off guard, so I didn't exactly answer it in as much depth as I will be trying to do in today's video, now that I've actually had some time to think about it. But the question was somewhere along the lines of, if I had to put $10,000 into precious metals, and in a hypothetical scenario, if I were to bug out, how would I put the $10,000 into different metals? Would I go 50-50? Would I go 100% on gold, 100% on silver? What would make the most sense to me? So that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. And if anybody has any questions for me, whether it's hypothetical or this or that question, maybe you're a new stacker and you just want to know some facts and information, maybe a long-time stacker, you just want to know my opinion, ask away in the comments section. I'd be more than happy to dedicate an entire video to you and answering your question. But I want to talk about bugging out today, and I also want it to be known that I don't typically believe in bugging out. As long as I have 4 walls surrounding me and a roof over my head, I'm bugging in. But in the event of, I don't know, let's just say a flood, a house fire, something like that, sometimes you have no choice. I mean, you can't just sit there inside of a burning building like,
no, I'm not going anywhere, I'm a prepper.
Doesn't always work that way. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and sometimes what you gotta do involves bugging out, potentially. So I thought that this was gonna be an interesting topic for today's video. So in the event of some type of disaster, some type of scenario that required me to bug out, for me to grab my stuff and go, to leave where I live and go wherever it is that I need to go. And if I had $10,000 that I had to put into precious metals, for me personally, I would get a little bit of both metals. I would get a little bit of silver, and I would also get a little bit of gold. But I think the specifics would probably surprise you. This is probably not the answer you're going to expect me to give, but here's what I would do. I would take probably about 2,000 of those dollars, and I would put it into silver, for sure, absolutely. Silver is incredibly easy to work with. A troy ounce of silver right now is really only worth about $26, $27, excluding the premium. With a premium, it'd probably be closer to 30, maybe 31, 32 bucks, depending on what the piece of silver is. Silver is incredibly easy to work with. You can get your hands on silver very easily. It's very, very inexpensive. I know it might not appear to be inexpensive because the spot price is up pretty much double from what many of us are used to. A lot of us, we're used to the $13, $14, $15 silver. We're looking at $26, $27, $28 silver right now. Not to mention the premiums are up on top of that. So it's even more pricey. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, it's still pretty much dirt cheap. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, $33. It's actually not that bad. Other metals are multiple hundreds or 1,000 or multiple thousands of dollars. So silver, very easy to get your hands on. Very easy to work with, which is why I would put roughly $2,000 into silver, which at the current spot price would be able to get me anywhere between 60 and 70 ounces of silver. I might throw a little bit more cash into it to get closer to 100 ounces of silver. See, if I were to bug out, let's just say I went with Silver Eagles. If I wanted 100 Silver Eagles, all it would take is 5 mint tubes. Each mint tube has 20. 5 of these, it's not too heavy. It doesn't take all that much currency to get your hands on it. It's definitely easy to work with. But the issue with silver is that the more you have, the more it weighs, which is common sense, but it's important to remember that it doesn't take very much at all for silver to really slow you down. If you were bugging out, if you were on the go, let's just say you put 100 ounces of silver in a backpack. No big deal. But what if you were to put 3, 4, 5, 600 troy ounces of silver in a backpack? I don't know how doable that would be. It's definitely doable, but I don't know how long it would be doable for. Which brings me around full circle. Put about 2,000, maybe a little bit more, into the silver. But I would take 7,500 or 8,000 and I would put it into gold. See, if I were to go with $8,000 put strictly into gold, that would only be approximately 4 troy ounces of gold. 4 little gold coins. Or maybe I could go with 8 half-ounce gold coins. Only 8. I could put all 8 of those in my pocket. In one pocket. We all talk about the pocket silver. Some of us are major cheese balls. We don't often talk about the pocket gold. But you could put $8,000 into just a couple little pieces of gold, put them in your pocket, put them in your bag, put them wherever you want. It weighs close to nothing. It's a very small amount of gold. It's a little handful of gold, not even a handful of gold. Half of a handful of gold. Gold is not as easy to work with as silver is, because if you wanted to part ways with it, you would have to part ways with potentially the entire thing in exchange for a wad of cash or a ridiculous amount of silver, which you may or may not want to do. So that's why I said silver would be for simply the sake of convenience. Both metals have their pros and their cons. Both are more convenient for different reasons. Silver is way more easy to work with, very simple to get your hands on, which is why I would call it convenient. But at the same time, you could argue that it's inconvenient because it takes up a lot of space. It can weigh you down. Gold, on the other hand, borderline inconvenient to work with because it requires a huge amount of cash to convert into just one little piece of gold. I mean, this one on screen right here, this isn't even an ounce of gold. This isn't even a half an ounce. This isn't even a quarter of an ounce of gold. This is a tenth of an ounce of gold. And right now, you could pick up one of these things for close to $220, $230. That's a lot of cash being packed into such a tiny little piece of gold. It's like the size of a fingernail almost. A very small piece of gold. So just imagine how much cash you can pack into something that's 10 times bigger. Very easy to hide. Very easy to transport. Very easy to relocate. So it's convenient for that reason right there, but it's inconvenient because if you need to part ways with it, you might not want to part ways with the whole thing. Like I said, this is like $220, $230. But what if I don't need $230? What if all I need is 40 or 50? Which is where I think the silver makes a little bit more sense. So the answer to the question is obviously both metals for two completely different reasons. Both metals are excellent. Both metals have their different uses. Both metals have different jobs for completely different reasons. Both metals are excellent for different reasons. Both metals have their pros and their cons, but I truly believe, in my opinion and from my perspective, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's all for entertainment purposes, but it's also to help initiate a conversation. So hopefully something that I'm talking about today can spark a discussion in the comment section, which, by the way, head on down to the comments and let me know your thoughts. But in my opinion and from my perspective, coming from someone who has been stacking the silver and the gold consistently for over 2.5 years, which, by the way, I know is not a very long time, but I've been in the game for a little while now. I believe both metals have their pros and their cons, but if you're stacking both, I think each metal cancels out the other one's con. And in a way, it's nothing but pros. Maybe not exactly, but you know the point I'm trying to get across. If you're stacking both metals and you are well diversified, I don't know if anybody watching has a personal gold to silver ratio. I do not. Well, I do. I just don't know what it is because I do not stack that way. I get what I can get my hands on when I can get my hands on it. I will say this. Something that I discovered just yesterday. I've been realizing it more and more over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months. But during last night's live stream when we were talking about the gold and the silver, I reached this conclusion. What I realized fully just yesterday was this. I might not have all that much silver in the grand scheme of things, but with the amount of silver that I do have, I would say it's pretty much safe to say that I am really lacking in the gold category. I don't have much silver at all in the grand scheme of things, but in comparison to the amount of gold that I have close to no gold at all. I only have a little bit of gold. I've been way more consistent with silver over the years. On purpose, by the way. Silver is, after all, my precious metal of choice. I always refer to it as the opportunity metal. That's just my opinion. It's because I believe it has plenty of room to grow and perform over time. I do think gold can grow and perform as well, but gold is pretty much just below its recent all-time high. It just reached a brand new all-time high, like just last month. Silver, on the other hand, it's only halfway to its all-time high. And who knows, maybe when it hits that all-time high again, maybe it'll get to a new all-time high. Maybe it'll break its own record. It definitely can. History tells us that it's possible that it can go back up to $50. It's already been at $50. So assuming that it could go back to 50, I don't think one could argue that that's far-fetched. Why would that be far-fetched? It's already happened. We already know that it's possible. According to history, it's already occurred, therefore we know it could happen again. Gold, on the other hand, we don't know that it can double in value. Keep in mind, when I say in value, I'm referring to the fiat currency dollar bill aspect. Silver, and gold is gold at the end of the day, regardless of what the price tag attached to it is. But we don't know for sure that gold can double in value from where it's currently at. For it to do that, it would have to go all the way up to almost $4,000 per troy ounce of gold. Is that possible? Sure, anything's possible. Is that likely to happen? I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. It's never happened before. I can't sit over here making psychic predictions. I have no clue. It's definitely a possibility, though, because anything's possible. But I've been stacking silver predominantly over the years because I've always seen it as the opportunity metal. And if and when I am lucky enough to time it right and the gold to silver ratio gap closes in, right now it's like 1 to 70 or in the 70s, 1 to 70 something. If it were to close into, let's just say 1 to 60, 1 to 50, 1 to 40, that might be an opportune time to use what I refer to as the opportunity metal to propel me in the direction of what I refer to as the powerhouse metal, the gold, the ultimate form of wealth preservation. Now keep in mind, this is just all speculation. This is just something that makes sense to me. This is just in my opinion and from my perspective. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just answering a hypothetical question that I received, and then I kind of branched off and talked about a variety of other things silver and gold related. By the way, if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, where I can do things on my terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. It has a smaller number of people watching. That means I can read more comments and respond to more people in real time. You can get access to giveaways, promo codes, discounts. You can watch all the YouTube videos commercial free. You can get a shout out. You can get deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on all these different platforms. I'm screenshotting it and posting it right there. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You are invited and I would be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe. New videos every single day, 365 days a year. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. Trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. We just hit 1,000. I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products, t-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Of course, we have the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, as well as the brand new DYDSS 3/9 Fine tally marks available in 4 different colors. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. Use promo code Labor Day for a 15% discount this week only, which means you only have today, tomorrow, and Sunday to get that discount. So use it while you can. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, how would you answer the question? If you had $10,000 in cash that you could put into silver and gold, or silver or gold, how would you do it? Would you go about 50-50? Keep in mind, this is in the event of some hypothetical scenario where you're forced to bug out. Bugging in is not an option. It's not something you can do. It's not part of the equation. It's just for fun. Head on down to the comments and let me know, what would you do if you had to bug out and had $10,000 to put into precious metals? Would you put it all in silver? Would you put it all in gold? Would you do about 50-50? Would you do about 80-20, which is pretty much what I said? How would you go about putting those fiat currency, glorified IOU dollar bills into the real, true money? How would you do it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and if you have any questions for me, ask away. I'd be more than happy to dedicate an entire video to you and answering your question. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace. And once again, never forget.